And what would you tell to a business graduate?
Oh, I would say every system has a choke point, a bottleneck. And AI is moving the bottleneck, but there's now another bottleneck. And so I think what I would say to anyone, business school or otherwise, is be looking for the bottleneck and figure out what you can do to solve it. I mean, I think AI is no different than the invention of the combine tractor on the farm. The bottleneck was how many kids can you have to work, how many acres do you have, and then automation changed the bottleneck, and so we all survived, which I think we will continue to survive. But we do need to be conscious of where's the choke point.
Right. So I have two questions. Something that just came up in my mind. One question is, let's say AI agents and all of this AI thing becomes the normal in the industry. What's going to be next according to you guys?
It's very hard to predict. The problem is human have tendency that we think in quantization, but the nature happens in continuum.
Okay.
Right? We think that, okay, tomorrow we will wake up and our job would be gone. But it doesn't happen. Right? Even when electricity came, it didn't came to the whole US at the same time.
Right.
It came to one city, then one country, then one continent, and it just spread like that. And it takes time to do that. And the same thing is happening with AI on a more kind of layer level, right? Right now it's going to some functions, customer support and all that, maybe payroll, all these menial jobs. I mean, who aspires to come to a college, pay so much tuition to do paperwork? Sitting at a desk, right? Nobody wants to do that, right? So it inherently is itself not a good work. This is, I feel it's artificially created work, right? Which was because of internet economy, because we need people who can put things in the system, right? And what agents are doing is they are replacing that input process. They are sensors to the real world, right? Which is converting all these laborious process into more sort of digital information. That's how I kind of think about it.
Okay.
And I feel once that stage comes, when we are completely autonomous, everything would happen on the speed of thought, right? So it would basically become who has the best ideas, not who has the best stick to implement that idea, right? So I think that's going to happen not instantly. It would happen at one function at a time, then one vertical at a time, and then soon it would have the layer. Same thing that just happened with internet as well, right? It wasn't it swept all businesses, but one layer at a time, and now everything is ubiquitous with internet, right? Yeah.
I think from your answer, going back to the startup phases of the business, I think one of the sentence will always stand as that it's the execution, not the idea, while you're building a startup. And even with AI agents, it's still going to be the execution of the idea.
Exactly.
More than the...
Yeah, and also, I think doing entrepreneurship is nothing but being the first to do it. It's going to happen. It's going to become a norm. For example, somebody thinking, hey, let me build an internet website today. It's stupid, right? But the person who thought about doing it 20 years ago is the billionaire today, right? So it's always about taking those bets, and those bets always pay off, either in form of actual becoming rich or having some learning that you can transfer it to something. But you gotta be a leader in seeing what happens, even if it is correct or incorrect. You cannot predict what's the next wave is gonna be, but you just need to have a hunch, right? And then just act on it. And then just go to the next hunch if that doesn't work out. So it's also the humility to understand that I was wrong and being able to move on. So another fun fact, the app idea that me and Chuck met on, right? We pivoted from that 6 months after building that. And then Lamatic is basically the outcome of that pivot. That app was called Dinnerfy. It was an app to help you figure out what to have for dinner. Right. So, but we had to kept our ego aside, right? It's my idea or all that. I obviously worked and spent sleepless night on it. Chuck spent 2 years building the draft pitch, going through so much of conversation. But you should be willing to see what's the bigger picture, what's the bigger opportunity here, instead of being stuck with the past.
It's a good lesson for someone who's learning detachment.
Yeah.
So, a while ago, sir, you were talking about second degree questions and third degree questions. Could you please expand on that?
Sure. Yeah, although I do want to just tack on to the
Yes,
question you just asked, which
Yes.
was what's next? And so I agree with what Aman said, which is have a hunch, bet on it, but be loosely attached to it,
Right.
and open to new information. I would say the hunch I have is based on what AI is doing. AI is creating answers that the bottleneck used to be our human understanding and our ability to assimilate data. And once that bottleneck goes away, then the question is, well, what's the new bottleneck? And the new bottleneck is translating that into the physical world, which is why a lot of people are talking about robotics. And I believe that transmission of answer to the physical world is next, and then that'll be old, and then it'll be something else. And I think that kind of segues back into your second order, third order question, which is maybe you can see robotics as next, but then what's the second order after that? And what's the third order after that? There's a lot of, drop a pebble in a pond and there's ripples that end up in places you couldn't have imagined. And that's what, back to the, my impression after speaking with Aman is he was able to see a few moves ahead, the difference between chess and checkers.